What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Walking Reviews. Today I'm going to be taking a look at another custom knife. This one is by Deventer, and I believe the name of it is the JN Everyday Flipper, something like that. It is what I would call a front flipper, but I've been informed they are actually called lip openers by one of my viewers, so I'll buy that. Anyways, it's what we call a front flipper. But let's get into the specs real quick. We have a 2.5 inch blade. I believe it's N690. I'm not 100% sure on that though. 3.6 inch handle. It's got zirconium bolsters with kind of like a pattern on it, and lightning strike carbon fiber scales. It is a liner lock, as you can see. It has a little pocket clip with an orange peel finish. The drop point blade is a fairly thick stock for a knife this small. But it's got a very dramatic hollow grind, so the edge is very thin, which I like. You can see there's just a little tiny swedge up there too. So the fit and finish, it's not bad, but for a custom knife I would have expected a little bit better. The transition between the zirconium and the lightning strike carbon fiber isn't 100% flush, as you can see there. So you can definitely feel that transition. I do like the look of the lightning strike carbon fiber. It's not like 100% perfect, but I like the way that looks. That's just my preference. Some of the things you can't see. So the liners are jeweled there. But the finish underneath of the bolsters is, and that's not something, most people aren't ever going to take the bolster off of their knife. The only reason I did is because, as you can see, the centering is off, and I was trying to fix it and to remove a little bit of blade wiggle, which there was a good bit of. So anyways, I took the bolsters off and it's really rough under there. I get that it's not something that you see, and so who cares, but it's a detail that, I don't know, you're paying a good bit of money for a knife and you kind of want everything to be perfect. And maybe I'll take this knife apart and do another video and show you guys exactly what I mean, but like the liners are all scratched and like gouged. The hardware is like really ugly looking under there. Yeah, anyways, let's get into the good and the bad. The good is that the action is pretty good. It's a nice compact package, and it is pretty damn comfortable when it's open, even for a really small knife. This isn't like the Hoback where it feels like a toy. This is really comfortable for a small knife. It's got a killer edge on there. Really nice edge, even from, like I said, thick blade stock. It looks cool. I like the look of the zirconium and the lightning strike carbon fiber. That's the reason I ordered the thing. I do like the look of that. So let's get into the bad. I forgot to mention it's got a backspacer there. I believe that's G10. I'm fairly certain of it. So the bad. Okay, so like I pointed out in the fit and finish issues, centering's off, a little bit of blade wiggle. This is my first knife with zirconium, and I think it's probably going to be my last. I'm not 100% sure why it ever became popular in higher end knives. I know it's a pain in the ass to work with, and it's heavy as shit. I mean, the rest of this knife would be way lighter. I mean, the rest of this knife is lighter, and this zirconium bolster feels like a lead weight pulling the knife down. This knife weighs in at around 2 3/4 ounces, and I bet you it would probably be closer to 2, if not less, if he had used carbon fiber or something else like carbon fiber for the bolster. It's such an odd material for pocket knives where weight is an issue. I get for the people that like to collect pocket jewelry, maybe that's something that they're looking for. But if you want something to put in your pocket and use, you want it to be as efficient as possible as far as space and weight goes. And this is, A, it picks up fingerprints like crazy, and B, it's just way too heavy, way heavy. Anyways, moving on from the zirconium, which that's like a personal beef now that I now have. The pocket clip is a little weird. It really doesn't go into the pocket well. It looks nice and everything, but there's almost no space for that to slip into anything. So what you end up having to do is like pull the pocket clip out to get it to go into your pocket. So really not a fan of this pocket clip design. And this isn't the first model. I mean, I've had another one of these that I returned for fit and finish issues, surprisingly enough. But I figured I'd go with one of his higher end models, and you know, hopefully that would not have the fit and finish issues. But unfortunately, all the same things are present. The blade wiggle that I mentioned, the poorly designed and executed pocket clip, centering, that was also bad on the other one. I mean, it's not crazy bad, it's not rubbing or anything, but come on, man, you're a custom knife maker. You can do better than off-centered and blade wiggle, really. I mean, check that shit before it leaves your shop. Again, back to the pocket clip, you can see, I don't know why it's like pulling out of the notch in the Lightning Strike carbon fiber. I think it looks like garbage, to be honest. From the side, it's not too bad looking, although it does look really weirdly skinny, but yeah, plus since it only has one anchor point there, you can see that you can move it back and forth, which is, you know, another poor design choice in my opinion. The flipper tab. So if you remember the way that my burger looks, it's a rounded spine here, and this has kind of like just a little tab, and you can pinch your finger, if you can see that, when you're opening the knife. If you're holding it a little too high, this pinches your finger really badly. And considering you're flicking this knife open, I've caught myself on the finger a couple times and almost threw this thing across the room. I guess it's much more preferable to open it with your index finger here, which this opens pretty darn well that way. Definitely no fault to him for the action. Just I think the design could have been executed a little bit better. Like I said, you're opening it like that and boom, it's going to pinch your finger. You can open it slowly like the burger, and it's decent at that, as long as, like I said, you really watch out for that index finger. Alright, that's pretty much my rant there. It did come, the blade came a little bit scratched too. I don't know if that's the maker or the retailer I bought it from, but yeah. It really, you know, I like the size, I like the look of it, except for some of the small details. So just a shame that the fit and finish kind of knocks this knife down a tier for sure in my eyes. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.